Hello everyone, welcome back to this channel and welcome to this video. In this video we are going to look at the responses, okay, or how can we respond to subsidiary ICT for Senior 6 Paper 2, okay. We are going to look at internally how can we respond and at least the key points for us to gain some good marks, okay. We are going to look step by step. We look at item 1 with two approaches. We look at item 2 with also 2 approaches, okay. But before we go far, let's read through this question that we are supposed to understand and know what is required. Then the next session I come giving you the full tips on item 1, okay. First and foremost, we are looking at this item 1. It was for sample paper that was released of recent, okay, 2026. They're saying item 1 is compulsory and also item 2 is compulsory. What is the student required to do? Okay, 1. Safe Generation is an organization that operates in various regions in Uganda with an objective of improving livelihood in communities. The organization has started operations in Kagube sub-county located on shores of Lake Chivengo. The community majorly depends on fishing, and reports at the district indicate that the sub-county has the highest school dropouts. Okay, because these causes have never been documented and no measures have never been taken to address the challenge or the problem, the regional coordinator of Safe Generation and his team has carried out a research in Kagube sub-county, which aims at collecting the data on what? The reasons for the youth dropping out of school, the number of children who dropped out of school per parish in the previous year, and the proposed measures to overcome the problem. Corrected data and photos taken in the third research activities were compiled and documented in Gen Z.txt and Gen Z images folder. Okay, the support file, they are in the support file folder as they provided. Okay, they're saying the coordinator has planned to book address the district officials and other stakeholders during the public administrators workshop at the community hall. They intend to share the research findings and prompt them to discuss resolutions, okay, to the issues in the Chivengo community. None of the management members can ever use ICT to create documents for the workshop, and they are therefore need help. Okay, they need what? They need help. So, task as a senior student of ICT, you are supposed to design a professional, and I repeat, design a professional digital documents which the management will use to communicate their concern, okay, to the guests at the workshop, and also saturate awareness among the community members which are not present at the workshop. Okay, so as a senior 6 student, what you are supposed to come up with now is here. You are supposed that let's start with item 1. Okay, with item 1, since it is compulsory, you are supposed to approach it with word processing, okay, electronic word processing. Then you are supposed also maybe to do PowerPoint presentation, or you are supposed also to do what we call publisher. Okay, supposed to use Microsoft Publisher to publish document. Okay, all those ones are now your requirements. Okay, for you to make sure at least you can convey the message or their concerns. Okay, and in this approach, we are going to use 2 approaches. That is Microsoft. You are supposed to use at least 2 to 3. Okay, but for us we are going to use this Microsoft word processing, okay, and the Microsoft PowerPoint presentation. then we shall see how we can. At the end, we are expecting a student to come up with something like this. Okay, we expect a student to come up with something like this: a report, at least a report, or a letter, or a very good document that looks like this, that conveys the message that of which this document would be printed and given people to saturate, okay, for the awareness among the people that have not come to school, to the community hall. Okay, and then also a PowerPoint presentation for which the coordinator will use, okay, to do what, to present and present their concerns. Okay, a PowerPoint presentation that at least can convey the message. I think you can see literally that. This is it for number 1. Then for number 2, okay, exactly for number 2 is saying Kitama market is the largest market in Ruwengo Town Council. Okay, Kitama market is the largest in Ruwengo Town Council. Okay, then they say traders in the neighboring village bring produce. Okay, produce like tomatoes, beans, onions, and so on. So the market is supervised by market manager, whose responsibility is to monitor traders' activities. You are reading, highlighting things that you may be is traders' activities on daily market dues, okay, and ensure proper management, record keeping of the goods sold in the market. The management uses counter books, calculators to record and compute daily returns, okay, such as total quantity of produce per item, total revenue earned per trader, daily tax, okay, 2% on daily revenue. Okay, the tax collected from the traders is submitted to the town clerk daily. To ease the tax collection, the management uses to design receipt books for different categories depending on total revenue. The receipt books will be managed by the different tax collectors, who will be given names, okay, of traders irrespective of their categories. For example, the receipt book of brew is for traders whose revenue is 600 and above, and the receipt book of grain for traders whose revenue is between 400 and 600. Then the receipt book of red is for traders who earns between 400 and below. Okay, then they are saying an organization that supports women has approached the market requesting for statistics about female traders and their daily revenues. The market management has a model. Okay, sorry, here I say an organization that supports women, okay, has approached the market management requesting for the statistics about female traders, okay, and their daily revenue. Okay, then they have here also another concept. The management has a model of rewarding the best performing trader of the day based on daily revenue statistics. Due to increase of number of traders, okay, it has become difficult, okay, for the market management to quickly and accurately calculate daily returns from the market. Okay, from the market, of which the returns they have given them asked here: the total quantity of produce sold per item, total revenue earned per trader, and the daily tax. Okay, yeah. So they are saying this has raised concern from the town clerk office, and they therefore need assistance. Task: organize the data provided in the supporting file market vendors docs and provide the organization the information needed to guide the marketing management in decision making. So here, item 2 for item 2, we see item 2 you are supposed to answer using two approaches. Okay, item 2, two approaches, that is Excel, or what we call Microsoft spreadsheets. Okay, and the Access. Okay, Access, or what we call Microsoft database. All right. So at the end of it all, you will be required maybe to bring up something like this. Let me take you back. Come up with something like this. Let me start with the Excel. For Excel, you'll be required to come up with something like this. Something that has calculated the daily revenue per trader. Okay. Something had calculated the tax. Okay. Something had calculated given person per seat according to the criteria that was given. Okay. That is able to identify a person to give a receipt. Okay. Then the trader with maximum daily revenue. Okay. Then you also have items. Okay, sold, quantum of items sold. Okay, I see beans, tomatoes 740 kilograms, and so on. Then you also move ahead and you have female traders. Okay, and their statistics, their total revenue, their taxes, their receipts. Okay, and that is it for item 2. Then that's the Excel part. Okay, then for database, here exactly, let me show you here exactly, because they want even for analysis, they want analysis here. So here you also need a graph. Okay, you also need a graph, total quantum produce per item. Okay, so need a graph for better decision, because now we see here maize is the one coming most. Okay, all right, followed by tomatoes and beans. Okay, so you need a graph for better decision making and maybe visual analysis very well. Okay, then for database, let's open it. At least in database we expect it to have a table. Okay, to have made traders, and as they have told us. Okay, then you have at least a form into that table. Okay, then at least you have a report. Okay, something simple. So that is it. So go ahead and look at how we can answer each of them. Okay, with 3 approaches for first, 2 approaches for first item, and also 2 approaches for second item, and we see how best the student would have answered this question at his maximum. Thank you.